The African Transformation Movement on this Workers' Day remembers all the militant campaigners of the rights of workers who dared to take on a ruthless capitalist system designed to impoverish workers and furiously wrestle with it till the dignity of workers is attained. Today, the ATM salutes both fallen and alive activists who, like Ntshona, stand for the rights of workers in a country that is increasingly becoming intolerant of the expressions of the very liberties we fought hard for. Our reality today is that workers are demoralized because of the unfavorable conditions they find themselves under. Workers are living with a shared fear and reality of an economy that is shedding jobs to an extent that the country's unemployment rate has shot up by 8% over the past 24 months. The expanded unemployment definition with people who have stopped looking for jobs has extended to 46.2%. The manufacturing industry in the fourth quarter of 2021 alone lost about 85,000 jobs, whilst the construction industry in the same period lost about 35,000 jobs. The consumer inflation index of this country is 0.1% short of the South African Reserve Bank's upper limit of 6%. The price of petrol has increased by 33.2% in the past 12 months to a record high of 21 rand 60 cents per litre. The cost of living has gone up, with prices of basic items like sugar, beans, rice, flour, and bread increasing to between 31% and 68%. A basket of basics now in South Africa costs more than the minimum wage. It costs 3,321 rand. The education fees have gone up. Early childhood centers have increased by 4.5%, whilst tertiary institutions have increased by 4.2%. The list is endless. That is indicative of the plight or a reflection of the plight of workers. These significantly contribute to the difficulty of a debt-drowning worker in South Africa who is currently servicing debt with the 75% of his or her disposable income. This is the highest since 1994, when workers serviced their debt for under 60% of their disposable income. The employer's response to this sad state of affairs is a below-inflation increment of 1.5%, max 5%, whilst salary discrepancies still prevail in some industries. The workers of this country are going through a lot, especially from the private sector, with little or no assistance from the government. The workers under the sixth administration further suffer displacement due to this administration's inability to protect South African jobs by dealing with the private sector that employs non-citizens in jobs that do not require special or scarce skills as the law prescribes. The government is failing dismally to deal with the influx of non-citizens through the porous borders of this country and the enforcement of immigration laws. Workers in this country for such a long time have contributed so much and sacrificed so much with little or no return, as those with big pockets year in, year out pocketed the country's wealth and left workers reduced to consumers of the produce with no meaningful rewards for their efforts. The rich have gotten richer, whilst the poor have continuously felt the brunt of the country's mismanaged, crumbling and crippling economy, only to be cast for dead by a cruel system that ruthlessly sucks the blood of workers in their glory days and leave them with but painful memories of being used and chucked out like yesterday's waste. What further exacerbates this already unacceptable situation is the deplorable behavior of the South African government that takes the toiling and sacrifices in taxes of the demoralized, unappreciated, the overworked yet so underpaid workers who can barely support themselves and make a mockery of the contributions by squandering and mismanaging the revenue collected and still have the audacity to come back and ask for more and even offer no increment, though the entrusted funds have not improved the quality of life of the workers and the country at large. The alignment of worker federations. The alignment of worker federations with the ruling party has compromised the quest for the creation of a conducive environment where the rights of workers will be prioritized. Instead, this made way for crippling compromises that have favored the wealthy elite and the politically connected to the detriment of workers in this country. The government's inability to implement the NDP with regards to economic growth and badly managed energy crisis are but some of the other contributors that have made way for negative growth and loss of millions and millions of jobs as industries are load shedding to survive. In turning things around, the African Transformation Movement is calling for the following. Number one, the Department of Labor must increase its capacity of the inspectorate and professionalize it so that specific expertise are resident in-house. Number two, the Department of Labor must conduct site visits and compliance programs in all industries and enforce compliance while decisively dealing with the employers who are adamant on breaking the laws of this country. Number three, the Department of Home Affairs must tighten its grip on its monitoring of Section 38 of the Immigration Act to ensure that employers do not employ illegal and undocumented immigrants. Number four, South Africa must work tirelessly with the leaders of neighboring countries to assist them in developing their own economies so that economic migration into South Africa is rendered unnecessary. Point number five, every workplace must have a workers' union to ensure that the voice of workers is heard. Number six, government must be deliberate about supporting SMMEs in its quest to reduce unemployment in this country. Point number seven, special programs are needed